Hello people, welcome to your lesson. Today we are going to page 33, okay? Let's repeat the new content. Harassment, comprehensible, to rape, a rapist, to abuse, abuse, to fear, miserable, misery, dependence, emotional, to damage, damage, immeasurable, to encourage, encouragement, to lead up to something, to report, a report, to inflict, to watch out, fair, unfair, to resolve, anonymous. Okay, guys, let's start with the word harassment. Harassment is a type of behavior towards someone, and is when that behavior is threatening or especially annoying for the people who are suffering the harassment, okay? Or not only annoy, but when the behavior of the other person upsets me, okay? I can consider it harassment. Or when there is some type of comments that are not pleasant or racist or sexist, okay? This is considered harassment. Comprehensible is very similar to Portuguese. Okay, comprehensible is something that is easily understood. Comprehensible. To rape is the verb. A rapist is the person that does a rape, that practices rape. Okay? Rape is to force someone to have sex, okay, when they don't want to, when they are unwilling to. Normally using either violence or threatening behavior, okay? Rapist is the person that rapes. To abuse, and is the verb, abuse is the noun. They are just like Portuguese. To fear. To fear, guys, is when we feel either worried or frightened by something. That something bad might happen, okay? Miserable is the adjective and misery is the noun, and they are just like Portuguese too, okay? Dependence and emotional, just like Portuguese. To damage, guys, to damage means either to harm or to spoil something or somebody, okay? Damage is the noun. Immeasurable is something that cannot be measured, cannot be put in sizes, okay? In distance or in size or in volume, immeasurable. To encourage means to give courage to someone to do something. Encouragement is the noun. To lead up to something. Guys, this verb to lead up to means when we say or act in a way, okay, that causes another action in the future. So I can say that my action in the present is leading up to the result I want in the future, okay? It's like a preparation for something that will happen. To report is the verb, a report is the noun, okay? To report, guys, has two meanings, they are similar, okay? To report means to give a description of something, of an action, of something that happened, or information about something or someone, okay? And to report can also be to make a complaint to an authority, okay, about something or someone, okay? For example, when we want the mayor to do something for the city, we normally make we normally report to them what's the problem so it can be solved. Okay? A report is what is the document we do to deliver to the mayor. To inflict. Guys, to inflict is similar to Portuguese, and it means to force someone to experience something very unpleasant. Okay? Normally, of course, when the person doesn't want to. To watch out. To watch out, guys, is a phrasal verb that we use to warn people of danger. Either an accident or something that might happen or something that will probably happen, something that is likely to happen, okay? We use this phrasal verb, watch out, be careful. Fair is, to be fair, fair is an adjective, okay? A fair person is a person that treats other people in a way that is right and reasonable, okay? Or when they treat a group equally, not allowing personal opinions to influence your judgment, okay? That's a fair person. For example, people, some professions that we expect to be fair are lawyers, judges, okay? We expect them to be fair, just, from the word justice. Unfair is the opposite. To resolve, just like Portuguese, and anonymous, just like Portuguese too. New idiom, guys, to be out of the woods, to be out of the woods. It means to no longer be in danger or in some kind of difficulty, okay? So guys, let's repeat. Harassment is more common in the workplace than people think, as it is rarely reported. English language teachers encourage their students to listen to English as much as possible with TV series, the radio, and podcasts. She had felt miserable for a long time and resolved to change various parts of her life, despite her fear of things becoming different. The emotional damage that a rapist inflicts on their victim is immeasurable. It was comprehensible that the verbal abuse he had inflicted on her discouraged her from returning to the next meeting. If a book is written anonymously, we don't know who the author is. The TV news channel reported in its report how citizens should watch out for people who are suffering from emotional abuse. William felt miserable as he knew that his own decisions had led to his drug dependence. Umpires and referees decide if something is fair or unfair during a sports match. Let's practice. Don't forget to pause the video to read the answers first, okay? Do you think it's a good idea for teenagers to have complete dependence on their parents, and why? No, I don't think it's a good idea for teenagers to have complete dependence on their parents because they end up growing up like completely useless adults. How might you encourage someone to start studying English? I might encourage someone to start studying English by saying that English is very important. It's the most spoken language in the world, widely spoken. And English is easy, actually. In the lead up to Great Britain officially leaving the European Union, was there much disagreement? Yes, in the lead up to Great Britain officially leaving the European Union, there was much disagreement. Is it common for people to write abuse on social media in an anonymous way? Yes, it's common for people to write abuse on social media in an anonymous way. Did the report say that the woman's health had improved and that she was out of the woods? Yes, the report said that the woman's health had improved and that she was out of the woods. Is rape still a common crime in the 21st century? Yes, rape is still a common crime in the 21st century. Do new mothers often find their baby's complete dependence on them emotionally difficult to manage? Yes, new mothers often find their baby's complete dependence on them emotionally difficult to manage. What words of encouragement could you say to someone who was feeling miserable after some bad news at work? Some words of encouragement I could say to someone who was feeling miserable after some bad news at work are, okay, I want you to send it to me. Are some sentences given to rapists judged as fair by everyone? No, sometimes sentences that are given to rapists are not judged as fair by everyone, but some are judged as unfair. Is it common for politicians to promise to resolve social problems during the lead up to an election? Yes, it's common for politicians to promise to resolve social problems during the lead up to an election. When were many buildings in Europe damaged in the 20th century? Many buildings were damaged in Europe during the First and Second World Wars in the 20th century. Does your teacher encourage you and your colleagues to start studying early for your exams? Yes, my teacher encourages my colleagues and I to start studying early for our exams. Why do you think that some wealthy people donate money to charity anonymously? I think that some wealthy people donate money to charity anonymously because I want the answer sent to me too, okay? Do bullies generally worry that the emotional abuse they inflict on others has immeasurable consequences? No, bullies generally don't worry that the emotional abuse they inflict on others has immeasurable consequences. What can you commonly see in the shops in the lead up to Christmas? I can commonly see all types of presents and Christmas decorations in the shops in the lead up to Christmas. Do many people hide their fears instead of trying to resolve them by seeking help? Yes, many people hide their fears instead of trying to resolve them by seeking help. Can you give me an example of a famous sexual harassment case which has been in the news recently? Yes, I can give you an example of a famous sexual harassment case which has been in the news recently. Who was called to write the report on the new virus? The scientist Paul Lee was called to write the report on the new virus. Why was Isabel miserable yesterday? Isabel was miserable yesterday because she had believed she had finished all her university work and that she was out of the woods. But she was told by her professor that she still had 4 essays to write. What could be the consequences of parents frequently shouting at their children instead of encouraging them? The consequences of parents frequently shouting at their children instead of encouraging them are insecure children, actually insecure adults. Do you have any other ideas? Send it to me. Do you think it would be unfair if an employer wasn't comprehensible about a delay in a deadline being met if the employee had been unwell? Yes, I think it would be unfair if an employer wasn't comprehensible about a delay in a deadline being met if the employee had been unwell. Had Carl been reading the report about the damage inflicted by the war in Iraq between 2003 and 2011 before he started writing his article? Yes, Carl had been reading the report about the damage inflicted by the war in Iraq between 2003 and 2011 before he started writing his article. How did the reporter report the situation of the refugee camps on the Mexico border? The reporter reported the situation of the refugee camps on the Mexican border as one of complete misery. What do teachers normally do during the time their students are doing their exams? Teachers normally watch out for anyone cheating or not completing their paper properly during the time their students are doing their exams. What did the pilot say after the plane had moved away from the storm? The pilot said that the flight was out of the woods after it had moved away from the storm. According to mental health charities, what are the different forms of abuse? According to mental health charities, the different forms of abuse are physical, mental, verbal or emotional, sexual, financial, and cultural. If you heard about some form of abuse being committed, who would you report it to? If I heard about some form of abuse being committed, I would report it to the police. Should referees watch out that they don't make unfair decisions because of the pressure of the game? Yes, referees should watch out that they don't make unfair decisions because of the pressure of the game. What are your biggest fears? My biggest fears are... my biggest fear is cockroaches. I hate them. Who encourages you when you are feeling discouraged? My son encourages me when I am feeling discouraged. Do young children feel miserable in the lead up to their birthday? No, young children don't feel miserable in the lead up to their birthdays, but they feel excited. Should parents watch out in order to not make silly mistakes in their exams? Yes, students should watch out in order not to make silly mistakes in their exams. Is it useful to read a miserable book when you have many problems to resolve? No, it isn't useful to read a miserable book when you have many problems to resolve, but it's better to read an encouraging book when you have many problems to resolve. Okay guys, this was today's new content. Okay, see you next lesson. Bye-bye.